Hello, everyone. Alrighty, here we go. We're going to give this a try. There we go. Pressing live on Instagram. Hello and good morning, everyone. It is Friday, April 25th, 2025, and I'm Laurie Barraco, and I am here today with you to discuss the new moon in Taurus and maybe answer some questions and have some community time. So I will pause for a moment to make sure that everyone has received the notification that I am live. And if you can see me and hear me, just let me know and type it in the chat. So we'll see how this week goes. I said some prayers. I asked Spirit to help to assist with the process with any technical stuff. So we'll see what happens here. So it looks like I do have some friends joining on Instagram, the Mystical Moon Instagram. So we'll wait a moment, pause a moment to see how things are looking on Facebook and YouTube. So we'll see. Fingers crossed. And in the meantime, I am going to smudge just for a moment, bring a little bit of earthy energy in at this time. And we'll see how things go. So if you can see me and hear me, please let me know. And please also let me know if the audio is clear. Last week, the audio was a little glitchy. So fingers crossed, we're all good. We're past some of the hiccups and then we could get the show on the road, like literally. All right, so I might just switch my screen on my end to just to make sure that we're going live on Facebook, and I will share the link in with the Astral Lounge, which is a private group on Facebook. Oh, good, I am live. Yay. All right, so I'm going to copy this here, and I will share the link for live here, and then we'll get everything going. Yeah, hopefully. Fingers crossed. Okie dokie. Hey there, and good morning. Good to see you. I see that you're on YouTube, so I know that I can see the stream is streaming on YouTube, and it looks like Facebook and Instagram. So, whew, my goodness, thank you so much for being patient with the process. And so I'm checking out the comments on Instagram, and thank you, my friend. Video quality is good. Audio is great. Awesome. Wonderful. I know Wednesday, yesterday, who knows, whenever I went live, it might've been Wednesday just to test some things out. So all is good. All righty. So happy Friday, everyone. So good to connect here. And I'm going to be talking about the new moon in Taurus, which is taking place on Sunday. And then I'll answer some questions that you may have here. And I wanted to share some of a really cool experience that took place this morning. And I'll share that a little bit later. And it really does validate that we continue on, that it doesn't just stop with here, that our spirit continues to evolve, and that once we transition from this body and this plane, that we continue on, and that life goes on, and our spirit is still existing. And I'll share all of that with you in just a little bit. But first, I wanted to talk about the new moon in Taurus. And then, as I mentioned, I will take some questions a little bit later on. I'm going to check the comments first, and then I'll share the link for the blog with the blog material, so you can follow along now or later. And Anne says, thank you, Anne. Audio good on YouTube. Hey there, Kirsten. So good to see you. Hello, hello. And okay, great. And you are my technical support. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Oh, anyway. All right. So I'm going to share the link here. in the chat area for all of you who can see the link, and that would be on YouTube and Facebook. And so if you're watching on Instagram and you wanted to read the blog on the website, it's the mysticalmoonstore.com. And if you go to the blog tab at the top, it'll be the first blog up there. Hey, Jesse, good to see you. I'm so glad I'm able to catch everybody here today. And if all goes well, fingers crossed, you'll be able to watch afterwards with the recording. Okay, so here we go. We're going to talk about this new moon. And I recorded my predictions for next week. I think I did it yesterday. I recorded them yesterday. And it was pretty cool. The cards that did come up, they aligned with the message. They aligned with Taurus season. And there were some things that were coming up around how we're guided and influenced with the astrological wheel, with the seasons, with the signs, the sun signs. And they really do have an impact on our lives here on this plane and in other planes as well. So here we go. I'm going to share some of the material, and then feel free to comment here and there. I will take sacred pauses and moments to switch over to your comments, to read them, to maybe answer some questions. And yes, there will be a question and answer period afterwards if you want to ask something about psychic energy, mediumship, or if something has been emerging within you and you wanted to see if spirit had a message for you, we can do that too. And so the intention is to be live until 11 a.m. and you will hear the recycle truck out front too. All good. I'll take that over the other things that have been popping up. Who cares? Anyway, so we're going to talk about the influences. So on April 27th at 3:31 p.m. Eastern time, we welcome the nurturing energy of the new moon in Taurus, a powerful window for planting seeds that support long-term growth and a deeper connection to our physical and emotional well-being. So if we envision the energy and the influence, we are planting seeds who need deep roots. So this is a time where you may have already been thinking about your longer term goals. Where would I like to see myself in 6 months, a year, within a couple of years, where I have more of a sort of set it and forget it experience with my intentions. Sometimes we plant those seeds. It takes a while for them to manifest, but we know that mighty oaks need deep roots to sustain the trunk and the potential and all of that magnificent potential within our intentions. So we want to start thinking about, longer term goals. Maybe you want more financial stability, right? And this is the energy of Taurus, which is earth. And the tarot, it's the pentacles, suit of pentacles. And this is about the tangible experience. So many people are so focused on the connection to spirit and out there that we forget that we're physical beings. And Taurus reminds us of these earth signs, remind us that we are on this planet, we are in this realm. And yes, we're here to have spiritual experiences, to remember who we are, where we come from, and why we're here on this planet, but also to carry that through and to embrace this physical experience. So Taurus reminds us of that. So some of the influence will be about your health, your finances, your basic survival needs, shelter, food, healthcare, just all of those types of things so that you can settle in and embrace this experience. And you might even be thinking about, I need to take care of my body, my temple. Like that may be something that has already been creeping in, which it most likely has been during this time. I know for myself, I have been really focused on, okay, what food sensitivities are coming up and how much more sleep do you need, and really listen to when your body wants to pause and to rest. Yeah. So I'm going to take a moment and I'm going to see if anybody else has any comments around that. So do see, hey there, I see quite a few friends are joining on Instagram as well. Hello, my friends. Good to see you. So I see there's a comment. I'm not sure what that is in reference to my Cancer friend. Okay, so might need to expand upon that or not. So has anybody else been experiencing any of those things, like the drive, the messages, the whispers from spirit, with your physical reality, your temple, your finances, and that influence for yourself? And I will remember that because when I did the test the other day, I forgot that there's a delay. So I said, okay, I'm signing off. And I forgot on Instagram. It was like, I was gone. So I will try to remember that there's a little delay and I won't just cut you off, because then we thought, oh, some people on Instagram thought you just cut off. Or I think that the video, there was a glitch. So there wasn't a glitch. This is the glitch here, this one. All right, so I'm going to move on with the material if there aren't any other comments and within this moment. All right. So Taurus is ruled by Venus, which reminds us to slow down and savor the sweetness of life. This new moon isn't about rushing or pushing. Instead, it's an invitation to align with what truly sustains us: financial security, sensual pleasure, emotional calm, and consistent nourishment. And all of these things are going to look different for everyone. They're going to look different. They're going to feel different. They will be different experiences. All right. So these are just some things that will drop in for you, for us. So here are some of the things to be aware of. Some of the supportive influences are deep grounding and embodiment, like anchoring that into your experience. Practical goal setting and manifestation. A heightened appreciation for beauty, comfort, and self-worth. You might be craving that comfy blanket. You may be craving that nourishing tea that the aroma smells wonderful, and as you ingest it, it just gives you the warm fuzzies. Let's see what else I had here. Practical great goal. I'm on to reaffirming your values and priorities. What is really important? What is not at the top of my priority list, and what is at the bottom of my priority list? So there might be kind of just these influences with that. So some of the challenging energies may be resistance to change or letting go of old comfort zones. So what is not serving you in this moment? Old routines, old ways of taking care of your health or not taking care of your health, right? So I'll use an example of that. It might be that you used to be able to get maybe 3 hours of sleep a night and you were good to go in the morning. And now you find that 3 hours, you're dragging ass and you cannot function the next day, right? So that may be an old belief system. We're saying that I used to be able to do this. I used to be able to eat hot sauce, right? Things like that. I used to be able to just get up and go or walk for, 5 miles. I can't do that anymore. So this is a time to let go of that stubbornness and align with what flows for you in your routine and your belief systems. So another challenge is stubbornness or clinging to what no longer is aligned. That's kind of what I just had talked about. I spoke about overindulgence or avoidance through distraction, like going over here and just, I'm busy doing this over here so I can avoid what's going on over here, right? This moon asks us, are your roots strong enough to support the life that you're building? These again are our foundational needs and experiences. Your shelter, your health, your finances. Am I being practical at this time? Good question, right? Good question. So that might have already been coming up within your thoughts as well. So I'm going to talk about some of the crystals that I suggest that you work with, and these are just a few, such as green aventurine for abundance and heart-centered growth, Pyrite to magnetize prosperity and confidence, rose quartz for self-love, healing, and nurturing intentions. Right, so these crystals you can wear them as bracelets. You can wear them as like jewelry, pendant. You can meditate with them. You can put them in a little dish nearby you. You can add them to your altar of creating the ambiance and working with this new moon. You could add it with your altar with your rituals as well. So here are some herbs to work with: patchouli for grounding and attracting abundance, rosemary to clear mental fog and bring clarity, and cinnamon to add warmth and accelerate your intentions. So with the herbs, some of them you can create like a mojo bag and blend them with infusing them with the intentions as you mix them together, and you could put them in a little mojo bag and carry that with you, or a little satchel and carry it with you in your energy field. You can add them to candle magic. You can mix them up and burn them as well. You can also create like abundance mojo bag and hang it in the four corners of your room or your home, right? So there's so many different things you can do with the herbs. So I'd like to share with you some of the rituals that may support you at this time. So you can create an abundance grid, which is you can create with a crystal grid with pyrite, citrine, and green aventurine. Write your intention in the center and then activate with your breath and Reiki energy. So with the grid, you can look at some of the resources that are online. You can look at, like, there's the Flower of Life, there's Metatron's Cube. You can work with some geometries to help support some grid work and activate your intentions. You can work with candle manifestation spells. Dress a green candle with cinnamon and basil oil, or you can use any type of oil. There are many that you can substitute if you don't have basil oil. Carve your goal into the wax and burn it while visualizing the outcome. So what I mean is, say if you would like to bring in more abundance, you can draw some like a dollar sign, or you can write your intention on the candle with a toothpick or a pencil or some type of sharp objects, and then that has infused your intention. And then as you light it, you ask spirit to help to support you for the highest and best good of all, harming none and helping all, so mote it be. And then, let the magic go, right? Let her go. Let spirit help you with the alignments. Another ritual that can help embrace the season is sensory grounding. So taking a bath with Epsom salts, rose petals, and patchouli oil. As you soak, repeat, I am safe, I am grounded, I am worthy. And so I'm going to talk about being mindful of oils or anytime or herbs anytime you are intending to submerge yourself in water. Right? So we want to make sure we don't have a reaction. We don't want to use spicy herbs or oils like cinnamon, and even like peppermint. Ooh, I'd be careful with peppermint too. That can be very hot, right? Your skin might have a reaction with that. So you want to make sure, first of all, that you like the fragrances. Like, some people are not big patchouli fans. So if you're going to add patchouli oil, it may not be a pleasant experience as you smell like patchouli for the next day or so. But you can change this up as well. You can even have your candle nearby and work with energy that way too as you soak in the bath. So I'm going to take a pause. I'm going to see if there are any comments here. Hey, good morning, Joe. Good morning, friends. I will share I will do some readings a little bit later, not right now. I see some questions around that a little bit later, towards the end, and then I will be live until 11 o'clock. So I'll get to as much as I can. Okay, where are my notes? There we go. And Donna says she's excited to try these rituals. Absolutely. And there are so many different rituals that you can use to work with the energy of this new moon and within Taurus season. You might even feel guided to change it up a little bit, meaning you might want to use different crystals or different herbs or have different affirmations. You might even add different candle colors. Like, first and foremost, go with the intuitive nudges of your spirit so that you can make it a custom spell for yourself. There's a reason why your higher self, your spirit team is guiding you on this journey. Okay, so then we're going to talk about some journal prompts. So I'm a big fan of journaling. I know that it helps with moving the energy through from the spirit realms, through our temple, through the chakras, through the field of awareness, onto the paper. It like helps weave in the concepts and the consciousness that is trying to help us with shifting. So here are 3 different journal prompts. The first one is, what would it look like if I to fully trust the timing of my growth? What would it look like? What would it look like if I trusted the timing of everything? I know I want it yesterday as well. Trust me. And so sometimes leaning into the faith and having faith that it will work out can be a challenge. It really can be, because we may not have the signs or the feeling yet that it's working, and it might be really foggy and we feel like, oh my gosh, this is like way off. However, everything happens or doesn't happen with divine timing and influence. So try to work with some patience in the timing that your soul knows, and the light knows, and your team knows when things are appropriate, and it knows about the experiences that your soul wants to have maybe before that goal falls into place. Maybe you're not in alignment energetically and with your belief systems with that goal, right? So this is trusting. Another prompt is, where in my life do I need to establish stronger, healthier boundaries? Where am I leaking energy? Where am I just spinning my wheels? Right? This is a good question. Where do I need to establish stronger boundaries? And the boundary you need to establish maybe with yourself, right? You may have a weakness for this, or it's easy for you to get distracted, or maybe you have all of these projects that you have started, and then here comes another one, and you're kind of leaving all those hanging. That's part of the message that I had with next week's predictions, that this is about completion, so that you can complete that intention, that goal, that task, so that you can free yourself up for what's next. I'm going to pause a moment to see if there are any comments and or questions. All right, it looks like everybody's still good. Yeah, we're still good. All right, great. Moving on. So this Taurus new moon has me reflecting on the importance of slowing down and remembering that our desires take root when we give them space to grow. There's so much magic in the stillness. That is so true, right? In the moment, in the stillness, you can hear the whispers of your soul. You can hear the guidance. You get to pay attention to, wow, I have like this looping, repetitive thought and belief system that's not serving me. It's riddled with fear or distrust, whatever that is, right? So slowing down and being more mindful of what's going on within here gives us huge clues as to why things are not happening within here and without there, out there. Tongue twister, right? So I encourage you to pause, breathe, and return to what feels right and true for you. And then there is, I almost forgot this part. There is also a time to allow yourself to be supported by spirit, by your practices, and by those around you. You don't have to do it alone. So don't forget, you have a team here on Earth and a team also in the etheric realms as well. And so I have a channel message I wanted to share with you. You are not lost. You are becoming. The soil beneath you is rich with the wisdom of lifetimes. Trust the stillness. In the quiet, we plant miracles. In the slow steps, we meet the divine. Now is not the time to doubt your path. It is time to choose it with your whole heart. Right? So this is a slowing down. And in slowing down, we're shifting gears and we're becoming more mindful of our experiences in the moment. And in some instances, enjoy the whole process, the whole journey about growing and within our manifestations. And if you the analogy that's coming in as I'm talking about this is Spirit showing me babies. I'm seeing babies. There are the stages to walking, right? So with babies, right, they're first there's pleasure and joy, and oh my gosh, look, the baby steps, like literally the baby steps, look, they're turning over, oh my gosh, look at that. And then they start to crawl, right? They start to crawl, like, oh my gosh, look, they're crawling, right? And we're celebrating that, and there's this anticipation, and we're taking pictures to capture the moment, and the baby's just so happy. And then they start to walk, right? And it's like, oh my goodness, look at this. And then we're celebrating them. We're celebrating, the journey, again, the journey. And that is a parallel experience with us, with our manifestation process. Our ancestors, our guides, our higher self is looking down saying, oh my gosh, they like, this is a really beautiful moment. They just made it over that hurdle, and all they can do is keep their eye on the prize and the goal, and they're missing the celebration and the wisdom that has been gained in the moment and received. Or is it received? Because you're just glossing over, right? And like, they missed the big point of this, right? So yes, it's so wonderful to have those manifestations come together, but the journey of it, the in between, is to be acknowledged, celebrated, and just processed too. So I'm going to check in on some of the questions here or comments, and Anne says she can relate to all of this. I'm so glad you can, my friend. And so there are some comments on Instagram that I did miss. So it looks like Sheila says, Sag, here, there's a message I can't quite hear. Slow it down, my friend, then. Slow it down, that quiet in between space. Yep. And then my Jaunty Flower 4 friend says, definitely need to take care of my temple and a fluffy blanket. Yes, right. Are you craving those comforts, the comfort food, the experience within that? Maybe there's jewelry that just you feel so good in, right? And some of your own clothes, maybe, right? Maybe there's also a perfume or essential oil that you wear, and it just takes you back, and just like, oh, this is so good, right? It's that comfort in the moment. And it could even be going to one of your friends or your pet and getting that hug, right? Getting that nice hug. That's a human experience, not just human, but it's an earthly experience to be celebrated, to be embraced. All right, so I see my friends. Hey, all my friends, so good to see you on Instagram, and I'm so glad that for today it's all flowing. Knock wood. Not good, right? All right, and thank you, Donna. Donna says, great message. Awesome. So I do want to share with you a really cool validation from spirit that happened this morning. And if you're already friends with me on Facebook, then you know that I already wrote about this and I shared. So I have a friend, Jenny, who had she had a terminal illness, and she used to live here in Florida, and she also did my books too. But I've known Jenny for a long time. Beautiful spiritual being connected to the fairy realm and all of that. And her family, with medical transport, brought her to Oklahoma, where she had been for the last 10 weeks. And I became close to her sister, right? We would text and here and there, check in and talk to Jenny here and there. And then I kept really feeling her spirit last week. I was like, well, I'm not here, she's not really answering texts and stuff. So I'm feeling that, the time is coming closer. So then her sister reached out on Monday and said that the time is coming closer. So we were able to video and share some prayers and thoughts and send her on her journey. And then she did transition. No, this was Monday night. So then Tuesday, she did transition on Earth Day, 4/22/25, at just before 1:00 in the morning. And so then I kept thinking, all right, because for a living, I kind of am a medium and share psychic messages. And I thought, I think it's going to take a couple of days. But the next morning when I was letting Ruby out, I did have a bird sing to me. So this bird was singing. I thought, okay, I think that like that's a little small mini Jenny message, right? So today, Friday, I went to go get my bangs done, and I'm in the car after I'm done, and I thought, oh, Jenny needed a couple of days. She needed a couple of days to just get acclimated and visit her family and to just really settle in. It just felt like settle in. And I know that on the other side, there's not as much time, right? Time is a different thing. But for us here, we have linear time. It's a weird thing. But I do know that there's, from what I've been shown and understand what they have shown me and tried to teach me, is that there's this transition period, which there still is a transitional period, right? It's only been a couple of days. But I was thinking about her and I thought, oh yeah, it's going to take a couple of days. However, it's Friday now. And then right away on the car that on the radio, hello from Adele pops on, hello from the other side. And I thought, oh my gosh, Jenny, that's Jenny. That's Jenny. So I took a picture and that was on, I don't know, like, I don't remember what satellite station that was. Like, I don't know if it was iHeart or something. I don't know, but I don't remember. But then, so okay, so that was at maybe 8:52. So then I flipped to another station and it was 70s. And this was now at 8:56. And the song Spirit in the Sky came on. I thought, oh my gosh. And then I started, I'm not going to get emotional. That song came on. It's really beautiful. So I'm going to close my eyes so that I don't get all teary. But it did in the moment. But you really listen to that song. It says, and then when I die, I'll be with, Spirit in the Sky. I was like, holy crap, that's beautiful. And then I heard her laugh and I thought, well done, Jenny. Okay, so now you're gonna, this is like this now I feel really great about things for you now, like not that I didn't before, but now it's like she was like, watch this and watch this, and it was like a giggle, like I am good, I made it, and all and just like, please let my family know. So yeah, her sister, I think, is in another time zone, so I will text her, but I did tag her on Facebook. But yeah, so I was like, oh my gosh. So that is how spirit shows up for us, right? So it's important we're patient too, right? Just because they transition right away, we think, okay, now show me that you're okay. And each spirit is different, and our relationships with them are all uniquely different. So I hope that story inspired you, because I never get tired of this, right? I just am like, oh, whew, that just is like another validation of how powerful spirit is and the connections that we have. And that message was meant to be passed on. And hopefully some of you acknowledge the signs and the effort from spirit. Like seriously, what are the chances from on another station, what was it, like 6 minutes in between, that all of that fell into place, right? And her spirit knew, and my spirit knew, okay, we're going to coordinate it now. And then you share with others. Like, first of all, it's for me, for first and foremost, right? To trust that, look, there's like that, and I received the message, and I said, I message received, Jenny. So I want to acknowledge that too, but then to pass that on to others so that we don't stop looking for the connections of our loved ones, that we hopefully work through some fears or some anxieties that, this is it. Once you pass on, you transition, that this is it, right? We continue on. And it was a really beautiful message from Jenny, both of those messages. And I will share that message with the people that knew her and loved her, if they, don't say it on the Facebook feed. Yeah. So that's my mediumship validation story for today. Yeah, it was really sweet. So, okay, so shifting gears. Okay, so I have some cards here. I have the Rider-Waite deck, the OG deck, the deck that I do believe we sell the most of in the shop. The second most popular deck right now, well, there's more online, is excuse me, Ethereal Visions deck. But the Rider-Waite is always the OG go-to deck for so many people. And yeah. All right, so I see that some questions are starting to come along now within the feed, and we'll see what Spirit wants to share. All right, so the first one is Joe, who's asking, can I have a general card pull, please? Thank you. You got it, my friend. So I'm just going to pull one from the top of the deck. Ooh, loving it, Joe. You have the Eight of Swords reversed. You see that? There we go. Eight of Swords reversed. So, wow, this is a time for you to celebrate freedom. I keep hearing freedom from that song by George Michael, freedom, and I'll spare you my singing, but just some of the uncomfortable conversations and energetic dynamics with a situation. I felt like the cord of discomfort, uncomfortable feelings, miscommunication, like it's cut, and I feel liberated. I feel this liberation within your mind, within your throat chakra, and within your heart, and it just feels like, ooh, that's not that big of a deal. That I'm just feeling like, the image they're giving me is a bird that was in a cage, and it's not in that cage anymore. So there's this liberating experience that I felt like you're venturing out more so with for yourself, and how awesome that is. So I don't know if that makes sense. And I do know this, right? So sometimes a message, and you'll hear me repeat this, sometimes the message makes sense right here, right now. Sometimes it takes a little bit longer. However, I do know that as I have set the space and the intention that whatever messages come through will land somewhere and it means something. And sometimes just the sharing of the message may need to be digested a little bit. Look at me with my finger dancing here. All right. I'm going to switch over to Instagram to see if there is a question here. So my flower friend here, I have chronic pain and have been having it for a while. What guidance does Spirit have for me today? So this is really interesting as I'm reading and connecting with your question. Right away, my right ear is like, I've got pressure here. And I'm listening to the messages. I'm integrating. I'm receiving the transmission of the messages. So there's, I'm going to use my air quotes, a solution that you have been kind of playing around with and thinking about working with, or some type of alleviation of the discomfort. I'm going to invite you to follow the lead of that. And it could be as simple, it could be, so this is being proactive too. Whenever I have like the right side, it's a masculine, proactive, assertive type of energy. And so first, I think you do need to continue to create those boundaries and enforce them. If you're tired, rest. Don't push yourself through it. And I felt like there's a situation where you have little resistance and little resistance with saying no. So let's work on that. And then I feel like there is a way to manage it that I see you working with, that Spirit's like, give that a little bit of a try. Give it a try. I am going to pull a card for you too. Okay, so you have, my flower friend, you have the Three of, let me go over here, the Three of Swords. The question your team or Spirit wants you to ask of yourself, what is my responsibility and what is not? You're taking on and it's been delegated to you like as a problem solving kind of situation where you have assumed and absorbed something that's not yours. And I actually feel like it's maybe not necessarily a job or a responsibility. The responsibility is coming more in the way of emotions and feelings such as guilt. I just feel like somebody's pushing something on you, and I want to eliminate some of the stress that you're taking on. It's not yours to take on. So there is that. Um, and I felt like we kind of have a feeling, and it's like, well, how does that help with my chronic discomfort? It does, because we need to eliminate some of the stress that you have in your life. Not all of this is yours, my friend. I know this might be kind of like a different question, but I do want to ask you if you are like really wearing the best shoes support you're supposed to be wearing. I felt like the way the weight is the weight of your body is not distributed properly, and I think that that is adding to the chronic discomfort and pain. Like it's like I want to like move your feet up in some positions, and I want to go to the side a little. Find the position that alleviates some of the discomfort to help with some of the inflammation. I'm not so sure if we're going to get rid of it, if we're going to heal it, if it's going to go away and dissolve completely. But I feel like there are things we can do to alleviate some of the pressure that you're feeling. Okay. All right, Joe, I hope that that message resonated for you, my friend. And Joe says, hey, ha, and thanks. Spot on as normal. We need those confirmations, and it makes perfect sense. I am so happy to hear that, my friend. All right. So the next person who had a question, who submitted one, and so that was Instagram with my flower friend, which I might need to go back here. I'm going to call you flower friend. I could wear slippers. Yes. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to read the comments to share. That makes total sense with resting and the management I've been doing. I feel like I'm trying to play doctor myself instead of letting the doctors do their job. I am barefoot at home a lot, and I could wear slippers. Yes, something slippers or something to distribute your body a little bit better, because there's an overcompensation that's taking place. Okay. Okay, good. Good, good, good. So then we're going to go to Donna here on Facebook. Whoops. Woo-hoo. Hold on here. Card flew out, Nana, so you know we gotta look for it. Okay. And I do want to say this. I want to share for my friend in chronic pain. So Jessie says she was also in chronic pain, and she had seen an upper cervical doctor. She saw a doctor on McGregor in college, and he was a lifesaver. So I don't know if that might help a little bit. Dr. Lee. Okay, so this is for Donna. Donna's got the Queen of Cups here. Queen of Cups. So the message for you, my friend, is that being soft, empathetic, and nurturing is not a bad thing. And maybe you're like you've been judged, or you're just too sensitive or too nurturing, and you need to be tougher and stuff. But I'm feeling like there's this warmth that really that is who you are, and I don't think that you need to be this hard person in all situations. So allow yourself to still be the warm, fuzzy, approachable, emotionally mature, loving, sweet person that you are. And this is interesting because I felt like you want to really nourish others. So have you been thinking about cooking or baking, and like I feel like these things you want to bake or cook or make things for other people to ingest? So don't let yourself like be persuaded to get tough. I think that there are some situations in life where maybe we need to pull back and have healthy boundaries. However, don't lose that sweet nurturing part of you. Okay. Okay. That was that card, that Queen of Cups. She's warm. She's a safe place. She's unconditional love. I'll just wait a moment for your answer, Donna. And in the meantime, I'm going to switch on over here to Instagram, and here's another suggestion with the chronic pain. Start grounding my friend outside. Absolutely, absolutely. Spending time out in nature. So Love and Vivi has a question. I have a new venture I just started that has been in my heart for a while. Any guidance from spirit? So let's see what spirit has to say. It looks favorable, my friend. So you have the star card. So I'm going to ask you about this. With this new venture, have you mapped out different phases or of the launching, the different phases? So it might be like, say, if you sell something that you're selling right now at farmers market, and then at farmers markets, then you're thinking, well, maybe I want to go sell online. Maybe I want to open up a flex space or something, right? So what I'm being guided for you is, yes, it looks very favorable, but also let's take a look at mapping out the astrological windows that are best for you and for your business with launching and the timing of things for yourself, right? So now we've got the new moon in Taurus. This is a good time to launch some things, right? For long lasting manifestation. Right. So that is the guidance from spirit around your venture. It looks favorable. And maybe map some things out more so with the timing of things. Okay. I hope that message resonates, my friend. Okay. And you're welcome, Donna. And then I have Maria on Facebook who has a question. I'm just going to switch on. You're welcome. And with a new venture. Okay. You're welcome, my friend. All right. So here we go. We're going to Maria. General card pull. You got it. So I'm going to select a card for Maria. But Jessie has a grandmother who's coming through and saying that you have a similar body type as a grandmother, and I feel like she was very much, she's saying sideline, but I feel like she might have spoken another language. I was very much put on the side and out of it, not out of it, but sidelined because of some of the chronic pain and the physical challenges I dealt with. So how's that, Jessie? His grandmother, she's claiming you, and she's so glad that you're taking things to the next level. And I felt like when she was alive, they didn't have this medicine or the know-how or the application or her resources were limited. Okay. So Jessie, I hope that makes sense. Okay, so back to my friend Maria over here. Okay, there you are. Oh, wow. So we had the star. Now we have the sun. Maria, we've got the sun here. So your helpers are giving me a scenario. So whenever negativity starts to come your way, I see you saying, not my bubble. Nope, not here. I am not letting that nonsense infiltrate my happy space, my bubble. And it's like I feel like you need to put forth extra effort to shift outside influences away from your thoughts, your mind, and to redirect your thoughts. Yeah, it just feels like there's a lot going on, and it's like I just don't want to hear it anymore. I don't want to deal with that, and creating those healthy boundaries. And it doesn't mean you're turning away your back on anyone. However, there are some situations, meaning like relationships that are out of balance, and you're really working hard with pulling some things together for yourself, and then these distractions keep coming in, and you don't need to participate in every distraction that's coming in. I'm seeing blessings coming in for you. Don't let yourself be distracted with all this nonsense stuff going on. Okay, so the sun also tells us to strengthen up your solar plexus. That's the stomach area. It's like I want to draw a spiral, but I want to go clockwise inward for you, bringing in confidence, bringing in that security, creating a healthy shield so I'm not absorbing my environment. And I'm seeing that solar plexus in the front of your body and in the back of your body. So it just feels like there might be some stomach digestive stuff, and then I feel like kind of middle to lower back stuff going on. So there you go. Okay, so I'm going to go over to Instagram. All right, I'm answering questions on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube until 11 o'clock Eastern time. So if you have a question, just feel free to type it into the chat area, my friends. Jesse, did that grandmother make sense? She's saying, no, I make sense. It's you that's supposed to be translating it for me. Jesse, so your grandmother's really with you. One of your grandmothers. All right, so then I had okay, so next is Melena. Hey, Melena. Hi, Laurie. I just got a job offer, but I'm not feeling an exciting feeling in my heart. And I would like to know if this is a message spirit telling me not to accept that job. Is it a sacred hesitation and pause? Then listen to that hesitation and pause. Well, how flattering, right? Someone's offering you a position. Like, how wonderful is that, right? You're being acknowledged. Like, hey, she's awesome. We want her as part of the team. But you have not but. However, you have been really working on your intuition and trusting yourself these days and paying attention to the body. The body says yes, the body says no. I feel like you should listen to that, and also the reason why it may not be the best offer for you at this time or position may not be revealed right away. And it might be that someone else has offered that position and you're like, oh my gosh, look how great that is. It may not be all it's cracked up to be. And there's another opportunity coming in for you that I feel like is more aligned with you and for you. Oh yeah, here you go. So the card that I selected was the Hierophant reversed. Not for you. So that's a no. but I feel like for the other reasons for you to listen, right? So should you take it? No. Or I shouldn't say should. I shouldn't say should, right? So this is your choice, but I would say listen to your body. Listen to what's going on here and your hesitation and your intuition. It means something. Okay, so Maria says, spot on. Thank you so much. You're very welcome, Maria. You're very welcome. All right. I see a question on Instagram, and this is from Medina. I am having a procedure done in May. Just wondering if Spirit has any guidance for me. Let's see. I'm going to pull a card for you, my friend. Need a lot of shuffling for you. So there is a little bit of a struggle that you have with this. And that was what I was feeling too, was should I delay it? And of course, no procedure is guaranteed 100%, but I do see you kind of like going back and forth, and where I feel like there's confusion coming in, it has to do with other people, their opinions, their thoughts, what their 2 cents, right? I do think that it's necessary for you to have the procedure, and your helpers are advising you or putting some suggestions in the suggestion box that that you envision things flowing, right? Like put it out there. So I'm not saying you're being airy fairy or not paying attention to what about being practical. So do the things for the prep that you're supposed to be doing, but with your visualizations, working with affirmations. I am whole. I am healed. My body heals quickly. My mind, my body, my spirit are fast and thorough healers, and start to put that out there. And then after the procedure, follow the orders. I share this message a lot, but like spirit means it. If you're supposed to rest. If you're supposed to do these other things, like pay attention and do that. Don't overextend yourself. So, yes. So follow the orders, get yourself psyched up for the procedure, and see yourself healing wholly, fully, completely, with ease. And my body knows how to heal itself, but I will do my part, and I will not overextend it, and I will love my body. And whether you have Reiki infused with attunements or not, warm up those hands, run the energy through the different chakra points in your body. Give yourself like 5 minutes in between each position, right? And then surrender, right? And follow through with the suggestion of the doctors is. The doctor is, or doctors are. I feel like there's more than one. Anyway, okay. I hope that helped, my friend. Okay, next question. So I'm just gonna check on some of the comments here. Melena says, great. Laurie, thank you. You're very welcome, my friend. And Paula wants to know also about, will I ever have a Crystals 101 class? Yes, we will. We just haven't scheduled it yet. It's on the classes to schedule, right, within the schedule. So yes, we will. Absolutely. And Medina says, wow, spot on. Thank you so much. You're very welcome. You're very welcome, my friend. Sending you lots of healing and support. Okay. Next question is from Anne. I had been hoping to finish a big project before tackling some others on the horizon. I feel like I'm close. Hey, that's that energy that I was talking about before, right? Of having projects like not completed yet, not completing projects, and then wanting to go over here. It doesn't mean you can't map it out. Just try not to overcommit yourself with things. So I'm close, you're close, but I also feel like I'm just spinning my wheels. Any guidance? I don't believe you're spinning your wheels. Some things we're not able to move forward anyway, right? Because whether you're waiting for some information to come in, or a part, or a contractor schedule to open up, right? So you're not spinning your wheels. So you know what your helpers are suggesting? In the stuck place, in the in-between, go play, go do something fun. You don't always have to be so productive and adult-like. Go do something fun, right? So is it reading a romance novel? Is it painting? Is it cooking? Is it skydiving? Whatever it is, right? They're showing me, oh my gosh, I can't remember like how far back this is, but a time. So this has to do this is for you, Anne, but it's for everybody else. So when do we like become so rigid and boring, right? Can you reflect upon a time, and maybe you're in that season now too, and you've always been that way, but can you reflect upon a time where you just kind of like went through the day flew by the seat of your pants, like just said, oh, I think I might go here and maybe I'll go to lunch, and just kind of, or just binge watched a show, like a series on TV. Like we don't really do that as much. Or maybe it's as you get older, or maybe you have too many responsibilities, and maybe, this is the season that you're in. I think that every once in a while, that's something really good to do for the soul. And that is, and what your helpers are suggesting, to not have like one day, like set aside one day to do nothing, to not have anything. But that's like kind of like a contradiction, right? I'm going to schedule a nothing day, no responsibilities, no obligation day. But I think that they want more of that playful, fun energy. And then that helps you, like, helps things move forward. Keep yourself busy in the meantime while you're waiting, right? For things to align. I don't think did I pull a card? I can't remember if I pulled. I don't think I pulled a card for you, Anne. Okay. Yeah. The page, I love this. The Page of Wands reverse. This is the nothing. Don't do anything. Just go have fun. Have fun. You're not missing anything. You're not overlooking anything. You're being proactive. Sometimes we're in that in-between space, like watching paint dry. The paint's got to dry. It's going to take out as long as it needs to take to dry. So I might as well go do something else that I enjoy doing, right? Because it's a window of time that you have. We could just kind of shift gears and kick back. All right, so I'm just checking out the comments. Paula says, goody, thank you. You're very welcome, very welcome. Okay, heard. You got it, Anne. Okay, it's almost time for me to sign off here. No card. Yep, well, you got a card now. There you go. I know the delay is a delay. So I see Jesse has a question. Do you see anything for me this week? And should I stay home and get some things done, or would it benefit me to get out? All right. Okay. I'll pull a card in a second, Jesse. So here's your message. Yes, stay home, but go out where you won't run into anybody. I feel like you need to decompress, and you're kind of like in that hermit mode right now. So do a couple of things around the house, but then venture out and go where you won't run into people. Where you won't be recognized. I just feel like it's not that you're antisocial. I just feel like, it's really people-y out there, and just you're feeling really sensitive. I mean, like, sensitive with outside influences. I don't think anything bad is going to happen, but I just feel like if you go out and see people, I'm just hearing go somewhere like that you enjoy going, that you probably won't like see your usual people, and you won't have to make small talk, and just, yeah. So get out, but only for a little bit. You only need to go out one of the days. You don't have to go out the whole weekend. And I'm going to pull a card for you. Here we go. Oh, Wheel of Fortune. Kind of go with the flow. So that is that's the advice from Spirit, to kind of not map it all out, although I do feel that there are one or two things that it would be good to kind of have them complete as you putter around and say, okay, now that's done. That needed to be taken care of anyway. And then let the mood move you, right? Let Spirit move you. Do you want to go to a movie? Do you feel like having a certain type of cuisine, right? And then kind of lean into that, but go to where the place is out. If you're going out, go where you won't run into anybody. Antisocial. Okay. So you say, haha, makes sense. Okay, there you go. But Jesse, did you, because I don't believe I saw the comment around your grandmother that you have a similar body type that was coming through, and she just wants you to know she's with you, and that she's so glad you're taking care of yourself. Like, I just see such a strong bond with her. So it's either a grandmother or someone who's like an older aunt, like a great aunt. Wait for the comment. And then the last one is, I think Denise wanted to know if there were any messages. And I know there's some questions on Instagram. However, we're kind of like the window for time is closing. I'm so sorry. Okay, Jesse says yes. Oh, yes, that doctor I found is a natural doctor. Okay, great. So, but your grandmother, one of your grandmothers, you have a similar body, some of the physical characteristics and tendencies, and personality wise, like this one grandmother. All right, card from the top for Denise. Okay, Denise, I have a question. And I felt this anyhow before I pulled the card. Is there a new baby coming in? A new baby, a fur baby, or someone's planning to have a baby or trying to have a baby, but there's a new baby coming in that's going to be celebrated. And I don't feel like it's a business. This is a thing to love and to nurture that we have to watch it, to take care of it, to make sure it grows up and it's safe. Yeah. So, new baby coming in, how exciting. It's either a fur baby or a human baby. Jesse says, my grandmother passed a long time ago and we were not close when she was alive, and she was a loud Puerto Rican. So she says, if it fits, wear it. She's funny. But she definitely, I do think that grandmother that you're thinking of, Jesse, I do think that is her. So there are some similarities. And Denise, not that I know of. Okay, so somebody might, like I said, be getting a puppy, a kitten, a llama. No, I don't know, but I do feel like there is a celebration around a baby coming in, and oh my gosh, what a fun distraction, a healthy, fun distraction from all this other stuff that the ho hum of life, and it could be someone that is like family as well. So I feel like it's in your inner space here. Queen of Cups. So yeah, that is definitely someone's coming in. So someone's coming in. And it doesn't mean it's tomorrow, next week. I feel like the soul is just waiting to like, whew, come on in and have fun. Alrighty, my friends. So thank you so much for tuning in. And as far as I know, I'll be going live next Friday. There is a Friday in May where I will be in New York. I'm going to visit some family, meet my niece for the first time. She's a year old now, and I'll be on Long Island. And I'm going to go check out some of the spots up there, the spiritual, mystical spots up there. And I don't think anybody on the live here is from that area. If you are, hit me up, send me an email. But anyway, but for the next couple of weeks, I will be scheduling the lives, and fingers crossed all is good. It was just a fluke, who knows. But thank you so much for tuning in. Hopefully you can do something for this new moon in Taurus. Take a moment, pause, and think about what do I want long term? What do I want long term? Maybe what I wanted to create for long-term goals, I'm not feeling it anymore, right? And Anne says, love the mess. Thank you, Anne. You're very welcome. And yes, Denise, something to look forward to. You're welcome. Jesse, can I fit in your suitcase? I believe you're kind of from similar area, right? I grew up in Queens, and then we moved to Floral Park, Queens, like Glen Oaks area. We moved to Floral Park, and then Queens, Floral Park, Queens, and then moved to New Hyde Park, and then I moved down to Florida. I had to take a moment to think. Well, thank you, everybody. Have a great weekend. Have a beautiful week, and thank you for spending some time with me. Namaste. Bye-bye. And I'm going to say goodbye, Instagram. Goodbye, Instagram. Oh, New Jersey. Awesome. Instagram. I'm saying goodbye. I'm going to give it a second or two, and then you'll see I'll be gone. All right. Bye-bye, everybody. Take care. Oh, I see more questions on Instagram. Feeling kind of off? Get outside, ground yourself, get some fresh air, and I'm going to give you one of my go-tos. Go do some different things. If you go to Publix, for example, you have the same Publix, go to a different Publix. Change up. If you go to a Starbucks, go to a different Starbucks. If you take a certain way to work, drive a different way. Change it up. That will help you kind of move some things. Don't be on social media as much, and don't watch too much news. If anybody's talking really negative and gossipy, try to disengage from that. Get out there, smudge yourself, work with some crystals, get some fresh air, check out the stars at night, and say no to nonsense. All right. Thank you, everybody. Bye-bye. I'm going to give it a moment, Instagram, and then we will turn off. All right. Bye-bye, everybody.